Well, hello everyone. I just choked on my bottle of water, which is why I look terrible. Um, but welcome on in to the stream. If I if I choke again, that's fine. I just don't know how to drink water. Either way, welcome to the Roottrees Are Dead. Another investigation puzzly game. Diving into the exciting world of dispersing an estate. But I've had my eye on this for a while, and it looks pretty good. Essentially, a magnate of the Roottrees Candy Company, Carl Roottrees, has perished, along with his wife and 3 daughters, in a plane crash. Local police are not sure what caused the crash. All passengers and crew perished. We don't know. Sources tell us local authorities do not suspect terrorism, didn't cause property damage, funeral plans have been announced. No one knows who will succeed him. I don't know what that means. Roottrees Mania. And we have to figure out their whole family tree and who gets what, and I don't know what else. Maybe we'll discover that it was foul play. Also didn't expect with like 3 children perishing in a plane crash to do the beginning, but here we are. December 6, 1998.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
I'm definitely here for like the noir
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news.
music for sure.
In addition to dealing with the grief, the Rootin company's lawyers are scrambling. Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for. I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees.
Yes, that's what I went to school for. Yeah, I'm well known.
I'm going to
I knew this degree would pay off eventually.
I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order. Examine my evidence, search the internet for clues, fill in the names, fill in the occupations, fill in the photos. Sleuth! Alright, simple enough, I suppose. Alright. Person already gave this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. Tracked down a test photo from before they painted their fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances of their death. The ad's copy reads, you might recognize their faces from the magazine you're reading. You might recognize their name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottrees is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it. Wow! Some chompers. List the names. You need to fill in the whole family tree. Good lord. That's a lot of tree. Oh, that was just the women. Why are there so many women compared to... No, never mind. I can't count. Seems about equal. Okay. What do we have here? Well, in your notepad on each page, you can jot down important information such as names, family relationships, marital status, sibling count. Oh no, I have to learn about first, second, and third cousins. Sure, the great grandparents, not the same grandparents. Interesting. What is this? It's of course, it's the hint duck. Alright. Welcome.txt, 56k modem. Wow, it's enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high resolution images. This is actually very loud, I think. Let's do something like that. If you want to revisit search result, view the history. Do not try to eat your computer. That's fair. No documents printing right now. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the stuff. Perfect. Spider search. I mean... There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottrees fan site, seemingly run by a teen. It's neon pink with purple text. And hard to read until you highlight the words the young webmaster writes. Nothing. Because I'm talking Pirate. Hey, Pirate. Thanks for the sub, buddy. It's good to see you. It's been a real long time is true. We've passed the halfway point to triple digis, and that's frightening. Appreciate you. Of course. How you been? What's new? It's not feeling like you've been streaming that long. Doesn't feel like it's been that long to me either. But here you come every month reminding me. Oh god, they all have RHs as their name? Okay. Add page. This page is just zoop. We're just gonna copy that, put that in there. Please put that in there. No, didn't feel like it. What if I highlight it? There we go. Remember the days pestering you from Discord and I ruined my joke by you ruined your joke by making you one. Yeah, that's true. I'll do it again too. You'll just bully me into competence. Might think they're rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom Brenda is a fashion designer. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are maple rose. Plaid root clothes like Riley does in most posters. Ears pierced like Rose. Actually, you know what? Let's just highlight all of that. Yeah. Going back here. On the faces, I did click the name. Did I not click the faces? Do I have to click these faces? I'm so confused by what I needed to... Oh, that worked. Okay. Good enough. Okay. One of them has their ears pierced. One doesn't. Okay. Raina's the most famous. Rose is a middle child. Rose doesn't. To TMS. Rose doesn't seem to be here. There's nobody in the list with that name. Okay. Change their name, maybe? Riley is the youngest. There is a Riley. I assume they're all models. Riley is the one that has plaid. Rose has their ears pierced. You have that. Interesting. Okay. Spouse is TMS. What if I type in TMS? Let's just look through this. Oh, you didn't sort it. 1 second. Unknown male. If I filter it like that, will you... No, just male. That doesn't help. It's a nickname? Probably. Children's not their information. You're sold. They look 12. It's an old picture from when they were doing Got Milk commercials, but they're older now. And dead. Now we even have a Wheel of Pain. It's true. I'm still doing some tinkering in my noggin about what games put on there and that sort of thing. And once I do that, we'll start it, and then I'll look at adding stuff for like channel points and such. Because that'll be a good addition. TMS. TMS. Thomas Sheridan is the only one that, unless there's an M, that makes sense here. No, I'm gonna go with Thomas Sheridan for now. Okay, let's go with just root in all caps. Root has a period, even if it's not at the end of the sentence. Alright. Clothing company makes clothes for children. Website is down. Found countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes. Brenda, the mother and roadside designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose. Site says it's the only time her daughter is ever listed with her birth name Carly Roottrees. Okay. Just highlight that. And we go. And then models is just model for everything, I think. So entries are correct and have been locked. And I locked the following optional entry. Booyah!
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure.
Did you wait outside my door this whole time, or did you look at me through the window?
Safe to say, you're hired.
Imagine having 1 million points for the 24-hour stream option. No one would have that many points. That seems like a trap that I don't want to fall into.
The family tree.
You're giving me a bear trap that you're like, stick your fingers in.
But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional. But filling them in can lead to useful discoveries. Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees. Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottrees had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify...
It's a genealogy game? Yes, it's a genealogy and estate dispersal game. Oh my god. You were just here!
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Roottrees reaches out...
Maybe it will get a little
I'd
spicy.
appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
Okay. Salute! 3 out of 9 before the person you return. Every time you get 3 additional blood relatives completely correct, they'll be locked in. Any non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional. Placing them in the tree helps remove extra names and photos. Okay. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree's been filed in. It has 2 names that must be typed in manually because they're obscure, but intentionally hidden in the past may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Terrifying. Thank you. Alright. Well, this has got to be Carl. What is this? What's different? Huh? Is there a special one? Okay, we got that. Sure. What else we got? Her 2 sisters' parent died in a plane crash December 6th. The next evening, shiny finger in his door. Test notable Roottrees. Be the easiest family members to place. Okay. 5 pieces aimed at kids. The magazine. What do you mean 11? You've been in this line of work a long time, so long you've developed a sixth sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people that you can find via search engine. Game has a free soundtrack. Oh, nice. I mean, the soundtrack's a vibe. It's also just a nice change of pace from Blake Manor, which again was just like... It was like constantly living in the belfry where the Phantom of the Opera would reside. When you progress, the numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence, new discoveries will be added to the list. Old evidence will become less useful, and trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. The original creator had 5 children. That also mentions current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Interesting. Alright, Carl, Elias, and Gwyneth. Gwen, Red, Jim, Lauren, Miracle Jr. Alright. Is that a new Galaxy Cat shirt? It's, the same one we had before. It's, I keep wanting to say BB-8. It's not BB-8. It's the cat from, Hi-Fi Rush. Why am I not? Cat. 808. That 8's in it. Okay, so this has to be Carl. And he was the CEO. I mean, we might as well tap on Carl Roottrees. This is very similar to what my internet was like and how it sounded, so that feels good. Wife was Brenda, daughter's Roottrees sister. She was president of the candy company as well as the clothing company, which he co-founded with his wife. There's a short press release. What's the name? Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move this around. Carl / Brenda. All right. Like his great grandfather. So, great. So that was Elias. This is Brenda. Brenda. Tree? Just gonna type in a Brenda. I'm gonna spell Brenda. It's gotta be that. This one's a little funky, but I'm here for it for sure. Weird. Then Gwyneth and Elias for sure. Let's start with Watchman of the Year, shall we? Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEO, and the economy. They've been around for over 100 years, operating on major changes. Elias and Carl. No online archives, but we could look through periodicals. Okay. Elias Roottree was the founder and first president of the Roottrees Candy Company. You find what is essentially a propaganda site about him created by the candy company. At the top, there's been a picture of him and his wife Gwyneth. Also a biography section that has some additional information. He was credited for inventing 5 pieces. Became wildly successful. Elias spent his time and energy cementing his reputation as a family man. Was quoted on the site as saying, "Blood is thicker than syrup, and any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy." Weird. Enthusiastically claims he made good on that promise. Book called Family Man. Gonna highlight. No, not that. Carl Brenda. This is original creators. All right. He's the one, 5 pieces. His wife is Gwyneth. Actually, you know what? This is a Dark Souls game. It's got a Gwyn in it. Find some information on a website for the first Anderson maple farm. Remaining Elias, Gwyneth was Gwyneth Anderson. She had no brothers. So as the oldest sister, she was inherit the maple farm so long as she married. Where Elias took over, it only produced syrup. It was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy. 5 pieces. Just do that. printed out a picture of them. Coin doesn't find any site that isn't accompanied by this picture. 1909, okay. Gwyneth Anderson, Elias Roottrees. Oh, there's 4. It's gotta be just regular Elias, right? There's 2 other Eliases? How can that be? First president. He's gotta be. Which actually means you... Where are you? You're not the CEO. You are the 5th president. Which is weird, because there should be more than... This should be the 4th. They're telling me there's 5. Is there human sacrifice in this? It sounds a bit like that. I think it's less supernatural than that. That's incredible. Surnames from birth, even if they change their last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Unknown occupation. She was... Is there something here that will... Manufacturing, organic media mogul, military model, news anchor, politics, preacher, principal... I want to put housewife, because that seems like the reductionist thing that would happen. And it said something, would have used as a housewife. I don't believe it, but you know. What do we got? Business Watch. Okay, Watch. Man of the year. Elias in 36, Roottrees and Carl in 87. You know, I kind of thought you'd give me like a picture to work with. How do I not have a picture of Carl? For now, I'm just doing its regular Elias Roottrees. Public library? Oh. Family Man, the Roottrees. Like, can I just... Oh, I can totally copy this, right? Just copy. What does that do for me? I can't search periodicals. Can I use this to search for... Or do I have to put... I don't know. Couldn't just look up Bess Williams. You know what? Whatever. I'll just type it in myself. Bess. You son of a gun. Family man. No one can find it. Okay. That was a bust. Brenda. Brenda White. That doesn't matter. Carl Roottrees pics. I sound like I'm Googling porn now. Is the Root a cult? I don't think so. They're just like a secretive candy company. Why can't you give me a picture of Carl? I think that's just plain rude. Last Gwyneth Roottrees, Gwyn Roottrees, Red, Jim, Lauren, or Miracle. Let's try any of the other ones. Two ends. I get a picture for that? Somewhat well-known actress active in the 1950s, she also appeared in tabloids around her highly publicized divorce. The biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. Left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. Widely circulated picture. Gwen was the granddaughter of Elias. Shouldn't have been a Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. Okay. For now, we're just putting this under other notables. I mean, giggle more than it should have when it deleted your entry. Yeah. Yeah. That checks out. Highlight that, and probably this as well. I'm just gonna look up Miracle Jr. because I'm so interested. Televangelist, who is part of the Miracle Network, used to have a show. Third you watch, he was exposed, charged with conspiracy to defraud the public. In '79, he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. That's really funny. His wife Edith's sister in a disguise. You know what? Nice job. Jim and Lauren. Okay. Newspaper? I mean, there's the periodicals. We can probably... Problem is we need names of other periodicals, right? Sings in the duo Jim and Diamond. One hit wonder due to their disco rolling on down to the city. Jim writes the majority of songs. Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. Can release music. Cherry Tree, Sound of Laughter. Hasn't made a public appearance since '96. Is that man still alive? Lauren and Red. Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative of the sisters, so she's like a second cousin at least. Not like modern evangelists; they would never do such a thing. That's true. They just join ICE instead. Much better. According to a website about famous authors, Lauren reads few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. Postal learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family. They insisted she release them under their original name. Thinking of AI as well. Oh yeah. It's great. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Diary entries in 65 was a life between wars, spans the untimely death of her husband, coping in post-war world, perspective on changing times, into Vietnam. She is listed as retired. I'm just copying all of it sometime, just so we can go back quickly. They're notables, so, you know, it matters. Red was appointed judge and politician, earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for about 6 days. Cured a man of being a duck using the power of Jesus. See video with Sora watermark on it. Yeah. I'm about as anti-AI as they come. I knew I'd be a boomer eventually. I knew I would. But yeah, every time they're at my company, they're like, "Let's implement this." I'm like, over my dead body. This is useless. You do not know what you're doing. Shortest term in history. Then ran for state senate. Last name was Coincidence. Alright, that's interesting. For sure. What do we got? Rolling City was a barely top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. Give me that. Give me that. According to their liner notes, it satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to the economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. It has specific uses I can understand, but it's not a cure-all. On that, yeah. I just think it's really telling when AI comes out, and the vast majority of the uses are not, let us automate drudgery and ease your labor to free up your life for more interesting pursuits in terms of the arts and other things that, you know, give you nourishment. They're like, what if we replaced just all creativity? You don't have to think or write or make anything anymore. Just yum. Work harder. Ugh, not great. So I kinda don't think they have our best interests at heart with that one. We got a robot cleaner that uses AI to replace the cleaner and it traps someone in the bathroom by accident. We have a place that has robot waiters. I mean, they still have a large number of waiters. They just use the little robots to carry the food, which is kind of funny. That's all I got. So I never heard it. Option for a sealed copy. Only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. Peter Janowitz from MMM. Just highlighting that. Okay. He's a great-grandson, which means he's one of these, and you're the only other. Yeah, it's gotta be you. So that is. Why have I already forgotten this poor man's name? Jim Roottrees, Diamond LaRue. There's multiple LaRues, which is very interesting. Oh, well, maybe it's not that interesting. There's one. Unknown occupation, singer. Okay, singer's not on there. That's awkward for me. Musician. Boom, lock in those other blood relatives. Locked following optional entries. Brenda White, Diamond LaRue. A booyah! Don't have any other pictures. That's fine. I don't have a picture for this poor soul. And this is birth order also, right? Okay. That's fine, that's fine. So, we've got an author somewhere, we've got a bunch of stuff. How you doing, Nightmare? What is up? Welcome to Genealogy and Estate Dispersal, the game. Trying to untangle a very complicated web of a dead CEO of a candy company's family tree. Died in a plane crash. Was it foul play? Probably not. Let's chill game. Join it. Great. That's Gwyn Roottrees. That's fine. A lot of reading. Oh yeah. It is all about discovering the various things through like old searches and cross-reference and all that. Granddaughter shouldn't have been named Roottrees. 1950s granddaughter. That does not help. There's Miracle Jr. And we had Jim and Diamond. Lauren Roottrees is a distant relative, which would usually mean she's on the same, like, level here. But that does not seem to be the case. Because the stars are here, here, and here for those three. Oh, they marked red as a red herring. That's fair. Understandable, sir. Well, let's see what we can do here. Probably stuff about her books would be the best scenario for us. Also, I wonder if Lauren Rafferty will change anything. No. It will not. A Life Between Wars. It is available in a lot of libraries. Okay. Bro, what do you mean? Oh, because it's Roottrees. Duh. There we go. Seen at the jackpot here. Book occasionally taught in schools. Hardcover edition. Relevant entries in the diary have been added to evidence. And then, let's see, you've got Romance in Court. Inspiration from one of her brothers Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. That's actually interesting, though. Oh god, his middle name was Harry. Get him out of here. Court Jester. Hey, Amanda, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to me cross-referencing in the mid-90s of Romance in Court. Different romance system. Same narrator. Return to court. New romance in court. Interesting. Well, how's the game so far? It's new and interesting. Despite the fact that we are essentially just filling in a gigantic family tree of a shady candy company to try and figure out who is blood relatives and who is not. Because all of these people died in a plane crash and they were the succession of the company, and now I'm trying to track down everybody else. It's pretty entertaining, not gonna lie. Our diary contains some pictures. Take some pictures. Bam, bam, bam. This is the 5 pieces. Picture is famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left, taken in 1935. Celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. Miracle's one of the 5 kids. No, Miracle's one, and then Miracle Jr.'s one of the... Got it. We were told only the 5 pieces, which didn't go over well, to say the least. So eventually, I suppose, to stop tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden. I was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Interesting. How have you been, Mando? What's new with you? The next generation. I've got so many pictures to take of these goobers. Okay. Attempt to recapture the spirit of a 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one, but I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, so we clumped up in the middle, let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. So that's the 4. Only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. Also, don't think a fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge, even after all these years. Okay. And we got A Life Between Wars. Oh god, we got so much. Blower notes and observations you made. Skimming through the diary. Holston 65. Entries that stretch from 40 to 65. Loss of her husband Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. Their son was Clark. Lauren never remarried, only had 1 child. Okay. Granddaughter on her father's side. Head lawyer of the... Ooh. Just Lauren's generation, and then the Free Spirits. Just a great... Okay. Interesting. Only had 1 kid. She's a great granddaughter. What do you... No, that can't be split up. Because they only have 1 there. She had... This is her. Because she had 4... three brothers. So this is Lauren. Lauren Roottrees. She is an author. Bada bing, bada boom. Good, you're supposed to be sitting and hibernating, but weather has kept you working. That is the opposite of what I had hoped you would be doing right now. It's cold. Jacob. Hopefully there's only one Jacob. Only one Jacob? Only one Jacob? Yeah, Jacob Rafferty. That makes sense. Which also know the picture of him. And then this is said Clark, I think, right? Son Clark. Never remarried. Clark Rafferty. Okay, granddaughter on her father's side, mother's family was called the Cossells, but hardly ever mentions them. Cossell. Sarah Cossell. Father, she referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer. Helped write a legal document called the Clanced Trust. Let's look at the Clanced Trust, shall we? One second. I'm looking up the romance novels. No, okay, they didn't do anything. It's fine. Clanced Trust. Highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottrees, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussions. Mandates a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. Account was created at birth, first successful when they turned 18. Actual numbers never been disclosed. It's a significant amount of money. It's impossible to get around to the many checks and balances written into it. There are few situations which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. All information you discover is from a university law school, which had a guest lecture about this in 1994. Okay. I'm interested in this as well. This will be Clanced Trust. It's beautiful and sunny out today. It's like 15 degrees. Yeah. It was so windy out there. I walked outside and I did the old Grandpa Simpson. I walked right back out. Right back in. Too cold. Good Lord. Just, ugh. No, thank you. Okay, so Clancy Edward Roottrees is the father. Clancy Edward Roottrees. He was the head lawyer at the time. But I think it's supposed to be the most recent one. There's something about that here. No, it was 1 second. It was there. No, that's the story so far. Okay, never mind. There was a guide about it, but now I'm like not seeing it. Anyways, definitely a mental game sometimes. 100%. Hey Ben, guessing at this point 100% on that leg. I am. We're thinking about going like not rock climbing outside, but like inside, like bouldering pretty soon to like test some impact stuff and just like get a little more strength laterally. Might do that in the next month or two. However, when it's cold and windy like that, inside skiing. There's inside skiing? Where? If I walk outside right now, I will ache. If I'm out there for more than like 10 minutes, I have to take some pain pills or something. And I've got like a little bit of my inner hillbilly, like where I'm like, oh, storm's coming, my knee is telling me, and slap it. What can you do? Other than that, yeah, I'm a happy camper. I am really happy with the recovery, and honestly, so are they. So, like, if my doctor gives me a high five, then I am a happy camper. The 5-piece guarantee. Did I spell that wrong? I did. That's annoying. Have I learned the banjo? Not quite yet, but I have learned Banjo-Kazooie. Does that count? And Banjo-Tooie. Family business for eternity in isolation. It's somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of the president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. Fine with the trust, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure only his direct relatives could afford to be president. He knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company. They had a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable as possible. Okay. And then the Roottrees versus RR. RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. First person was born out of wedlock. Second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Interesting. Just put that in there as well. Only if you learn nuts and bolts. No, I'd like to have fun when I play games. I don't want to. The closest thing I ever got to Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts is the fact that Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom tricked me into actually enjoying what would eventually be nuts and bolts by crafting stupid machines all the time, but like with way more creativity and like less rigidity. Alright, back to here. It's Dynasty, Sam, and Clark. We love complaints. Gwen's on the notable Roottrees list. Everyone had something to complain about. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. Told it being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing. Fell on deaf ears. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had, and I'd do the same for her. Even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit with the 2 of them. What a mess. She just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. Just admit seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlit. Ooh, that's Starlit, eh? Starlit, Gwen, Roottrees. Often in Starlet, most mentions were around the time of her divorce. In 58, from Wild Bill Williams, gossip is speculative, full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focuses on the fact that when she announced her divorce, she also announced she was pregnant again. Others mention the rumor is Wild Bill had multiple affairs. You can't trust a guy named Wild Bill. I think everyone knows that. On the other side, busting with a famous name. Nothing wrong with Cornwall, but Roottrees is power. Husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. Infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one, but Wild combined with the alliteration is incredibly memorable. They were located in Paris. Narrators love to keep up with my husband, so it says Starlet exclusive about both of us. We have a child on the way, sticking with Roottrees for the last name. Interesting. Put that in here. So she was an only child. She was a cousin. She got divorced and had 2 kids. That's got to be Lauren. Or not Lauren. Gwyn with 2 N's. Actor Wild Bill. Okay, we'll just go with Bill. Okay, let's try Williams. There's none of that. Okay, you don't. Cornwall? Linus Cornwall. Is that what his actual name is? One second. Yeah, no. It's really Linus Cornwall. Okay. Yeah. Alright. That's 1. That's 2. We should just be getting a 3rd. It's like, am I missing something? No. Because that essentially means that has to be... Does that have to be Miracle Jr.? Oh, wait. Did we ever look up Carl? Did we look up Carl before? Oh, no. Carl is... Never mind. Carl's the dad. When Lauren... Yeah, that's Miracle Jr. then. That's highlighted. Which would, of course, make you Miracle the First. And you Miracle the Third. Unknown occupation. Nope, he was a televangelist. Oh no, that's not in here. Preacher. Yeah, close enough. And then Lauren was saying that one of these pictures, one of them, it was this one. Include Sam. I'm gonna be honest. This looks like a televangelist to me. That's the 4 of them. Or him. That could also be. I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left. I was outvoted by my brothers. Okay, so that probably means it's you. No. No. It was one of the three. Alright.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes. But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s...
Oh wait, no, I
Roottrees
totally have
clinic.
Banjo. He's right here.
I also found some important-looking papers. You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Oh god, you gave me so much. Photo of Carl's generation, which means I can finally get a picture for him. Papers and mail from his office. Okay, that's got to be that. 20 or so years, Roottrees would hold a big reunion, recreate an old family photo. This is from the 70s. Carl's the teenager in the middle. You're going to have to be more... I assume that's him. Actually, no, I saw that picture as him. Sorry about the water damage. Pipe burst in Carl's office. November. Junior. I mean, let's... get everybody's picture. Let me also lock in Carl here, finally. Ooh. Right? Yeah. Okay. It's that. Alright. Tucked beneath the candle in the corner of his office, Carl and Brenda. Sorry you were unable to attend the funeral. Traditional to have it as soon as possible. And Ernie, more than anyone on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects. It's not expected. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl had carried on for him after taking over. Possible to express gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and it had no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up till the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong for Nicole's sake. Never done that without the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. Okay. When I pulled the water damaged picture of the free spirits, this fell out too. Written on the back is Gwen and the boys. Right on a ton of mail. Flyer about a candidate, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article of the Butler County Times about her campaign. Grew up in an unconventional family, full of love. 22 years later, baby of her own, due around Christmas. Love is our future. Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to candy company. If you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement that supports Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. For a city council? You're pulling in 3 models? God damn. That's a lot of... it's a lot. Aunt Margot. Do we have a Margot in the house? Aunt Margot would be... you. Margot. Yeah. It's gotta be you. I'm gonna look with Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. He's like us, villain in the first season, blah blah blah. No connection to the Roottrees. Harrison Lane seems to be dead end. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Leading man of some non-notable movies. Maybe 4 different times. Oh, Linus Cornwall didn't get locked in. Okay, so that's not him, then. In fact, we might have this all wrong. This might be that, and then that's Linus. Dynasty. Day, grandfather announced he would step down as president, meeting to determine the successor. None of his sons would take over as president. That's what he gets for holding it onto it for so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, no one's got time for candy. So, no 5 pieces were ever... Okay, well, in that case, I am sticking with Clancy was a lawyer. Yeah, 100%. Pop arguing at length. Company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it. He was the one who volunteered. It ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Not sure how that's relevant to running a company. The granddad always had particular views when it came to his bloodline. Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. And I'm the next oldest of all. He just left. Never get the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, countered back. Maybe they wanted to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the products. That's so rude. No, I've gotta profile people through pudginess. Alright. Firstborn son of the firstborn. That's Zach. Okay, well that's weird because they don't have... Surname doesn't match the candy. It's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Okay, well I guess that has to be Zach then. It's only Zach in our... Well, there's 2, but that one has only a C. Which means you were the second president. Also have the original. Miracle has to have the eye patch, right? And we were about the same age, so he's the youngest. There's that little goober. There he is. Sounded like he's also a televangelist. Sam. Elias given in to his wife announced that Sam was to be included in the family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Many distant relatives I never met. Granny and sisters. Granddad had a brother or 2, but I was told trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris. The rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. Didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year at the reception. Pop shushed me, said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands. He and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records, managed to confirm all three on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago. Sam gave him some old tools, taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider is cozied into family affairs. Someone who works on the farm of all places. We'll go back to that one. Clark's getting married, in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18. Danielle isn't much older. Okay, Clark. You. What the hell is that? Guardian, adoption, or otherwise. Okay, sure. Clark, you married. Oh, man, you kept marrying, huh? Alright. Don't know your occupation, though. Free spirit. Group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend. They all aspire to be musicians, artists, dancers, and all sorts of nonsense. Only one who has any discipline is Carl. That's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Maybe I'm just getting old. Our generation was never so bad. Our brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. The most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Okay, there's definitely a cousin somewhere in here. Pop seemed to have gotten over it because Edward is said to take over his department once he retires. First published book, Swashbuckle My Heart. Swashbuckle My Heart. It isn't spelled wrong, probably. It's not. It's not. Okay. We have the next gen. I'm sorry, Zach, but I think I know which picture is yours. Do we have three that should be locked in that aren't? Yes, we do. So one of these is wrong. It's not Carl. Probably. Probably. I just assumed if he was a preacher, then he would also be a preacher. The only other one would be him, but no. I think this is right. ZAC. Firstborn of the firstborn. That's gotta be him. I mean, are they saying there's only 3 presidents? Oh. He's gotta be the latest president. That's his face and everything, which means that is not his job, I assume. Or that's just not him. But he would be the youngest one in that picture. Something screwy. There we go. Miracle Roottrees Estate. Arrived so late in his wedded life, Doctor swore he wouldn't survive his first year. Mother and father named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. Birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. Power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Michael Roottrees Jr. arrived, became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. Okay. I mean, he's definitely... So that's that. Miracle's a third. '68th year on his... Okay, no, he is a preacher. So something else is wrong. Because that is him. I don't need his spouse. That's correct. That should be correct. That's Eli. You can see it in his name. And then, what's the third one? We've got awry somewhere, and we don't quite know where that is. Miracle the Third and his wife Nicole, though. That... He was also a preacher. My guess is this will help us. His wife Nicole. Fuck. What's one of them? Try here for now. Okay. We'll figure out what's wrong here in a second. Okay. Alright, we locked in everybody on the notable Roottrees list. So something's screwy here. That feels right, but I don't know for sure. We do kind of have this one already. No, that one's correct though, for sure. And honestly, so is... probably this. Said, why is Miracle on here? Right? So he's like, don't know why Miracle was in it, because he's technically a 5-piece, and that's him. But no, that is Zach. We just don't have his name correct then? He was the president. I don't know. It would help if we knew who the firstborn of the 5 pieces was. I wonder if I just look up 5 pieces, if that'll give us something. History of Candy, Volume 2. And Charles Lee. Charles Lee. What do you mean? The Sweet History of Candy. Part of a book series about all things candy, starts in 1925, continues onward, chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution, blah 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 blah. Newspaper ad for 1930s, 5 pieces. This is the names for sure. G-E-C-E-M and M for Miracle. G-E-C-E-M. Clancy Edward. M. Yeah, Marguerite. That makes sense. Then Miracle. So we've got the original root tree. I mean, they still keep the root tree name, right? G and E. There's got to be an Elias Jr. somewhere, and then the only other one is Gwendolyn, which means that has to be her. Let's try Gwendolyn Roottrees. Did I spell it right? Gwendolyn Roottrees. Yes, I unfortunately did. Someone was talking about Gwendolyn. I just don't know where. There's a lot of Gwens around. Like I said, this is really just a Souls-like. Firstborn son of the first 5-piece. You know what? He's probably just... I just got him wrong, right? This is what now? It's a Souls-like. I think that's what this is. This is what the problem was. His firstborn son, not just the firstborn. Because Angie's older than him. Which means you are probably a Morden? James Morden, probably. And then there's an Angie Morden as well. Yeah, Angelica Morden. Don't know what you did, though. I think this is more correct. Gwendolyn Unknown, next one. We do have the original 5, right? I don't know which is which, though. No, you know what? Because they said Margot was blonde, right? That's Edward, and then this means that was... Eli Jr. should be there. Okay. I think we're good on that front. We just need to figure out like the occupations of the original 5. This looks like the same person, so. And we had another Eli, but he couldn't actually be the junior. Something weird's going on there. I don't even want to touch it. Oh wait, here we go. Always use a person's most recent occupation. We got it. We got it. We're figuring things out. So I think we've got one correct and just kind of sitting there. We've got... No, we've got 2 correct. A third one should be good and dandy. New warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. He's an architect. Sick. We're cooking with gas.
It's
My
time
God.
for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Rootree family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again,
Doesn't happen to be the photo that I have in my possession. Is it? Local investigative jazz. That's my favorite type of jazz, actually. Wasn't a break-in. Someone with the key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. It was likely someone close to the family was aware of the history, wanted to save it. Don't believe their lies. There's another instance of the Roottrees curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it. Long, rambling conspiracy, very small, very red text on a black background. It says they're cursed. Important update with Carl, Brenda, and their girls. That makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 1982. No one was arrested. Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. So that's the 3rd president and the 4th president. Another entry that claims if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces of wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull. Post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corners simultaneously, 4-day time cubes. Entry from a few months ago claims the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff at Prodigy asking him to take down his site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims although the proof looks quite credible, he knows the proof is fake, so he's an expert at creating fake evidence. First entry is from 96, has a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company factory, seemingly taken by the website's author from behind a fence. Seems that Operation RT-29 is real. All images and ideas by Thomas Overwood. Okay. He has a few different sites about mysterious deaths and curses. He also has one of the truth behind Spirit Cola, which claims that Spirit really stands for Staten's Plague is returning in 2000. Then the year 2000, anyone who's drunk that cola will die. The website is Stock Markets and the Devil Numbers, which claim if you multiply any stock's price by 666, then multiply the current year by the same stock's price, and then add those two numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price, and finally subtract the current year, you'll always end up with 66. It's true. He's not wrong. Curse. What did we get, by the way? Oh, just another story. Which means the person who's giving that might be one of the Roottrees. Nope. Alright. And this is a very good, solid thing. Margot, blonde to fit them together. Two, The free spirits. And Angie's older than Zach. The Sam stuff is weird. I don't have the wherewithal to figure it out right now. There's another Eli. Edward. Okay, so Edward, oh no, this is, I got it. It's racism. The answer is racism. Definitely just thought it was his cousin. Edward set to take over his department once he retires. Okay, interesting. Jane, does he have great grandson? Nah. We're gonna listen to disco now. I like how they're like, the lyrics of this song contains no clues. You don't need to worry about this at all. Peter Janowitz. Music critic, Modern Music Monthly. Okay, Modern Music Monthly, and we just do like Peter Janowitz. Artist names, rolling on down to the city, probably. There we go. A reluctant hitmaker. We're in C and J and D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpapa insisted he spend time. Wait, he never knew his dad. Okay. And his ex. Alright. Interesting. Kernine grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane are actually sisters. Oh, that was his second ex? Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. Alright. So that has to be LaRue again. And then the third spouse has to be Kim, I think? Klein grown up brothers, Diamond and Jane were sisters. Oh my god. We finally got a spammer. Adios. Forrest Keith's family band, Otters Finest Hour. Diamond walked in and Clark in bed with her youngest sister. Everything exploded. Only thing we had common was music. Even then, we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes. When he called me up and told me he liked Roland, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. I wouldn't say any of this because he'd agree. For the most decade, he was a mess. He's a lot happier now. He started Raffer Tunes, and he's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One benefit to our famous family's massive company willing to be a client. It's also how my father was connected to Roottrees. All his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player. Okay, I kind of think that this means that's Kim. This would still be their name. Yeah, I think that's correct. Don't know, is advertising correct if he was a jingle jangler? Wait, Occupation Baby is hilarious though. If only. Media mogul? No, it doesn't fit. If he's writing jingles, I would consider him an advertiser, personally. We're going to put that there for now. Alright, Stephanie Jones. Won our campaign about a month ago. No mention of Roottrees, bare bones. Butler County Times. Okay. I'll type right correctly eventually. Periodical added. Local paper. A video game called The Roottrees Are Dead is once set in Butler County, but has no connection. Oh, who knew? Stephanie Jones. Stephanie Landon, until her marriage to local. Brian Jones, business owner. Came out against Stephanie Jones and Brian Jones. Do we have anything about Brian in the Times? Took over his family's print company after 20 years. Jones Graphic and Print. Website seems fancy. It even has frames. Roottrees Motors is kind of interesting. If I could spell. Used to be called Wilkins Motors. 3 different versions of the ad. Right. Tessa Roottrees, our newest fixer. Roottrees Motors parents. Like Stephanie Jones. I don't even know. Where we'd start there. Unconventional, full of love. Due around Christmas. What day is it today? Talk to your girls about putting on a statement supporting Stephanie. She could use publicity. Your daughter's broom. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. Makes me think it's in the Morden family, but not 100% sure. Wonder if Linus Cornwall has something. No. Okay, that's fine. Could just look up Butler County. Seems to be the head of the Roottrees Corporation. Yeah. Okay. Do you have less notable Roottrees? Current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Yeah, that's fine. We gathered that. His wife Nicole. Did we grab this guy's? Yeah, we did. Did we grab this guy's wife? Okay, so we know who some of these people are, but not everybody. And then it gets complicated. Next president, Guy Hudson. That's true. Guy was a president. Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle, Jim, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. But this is the Free Spirit, so that's everybody in this generation. Which is not as easy to parse. And then Ernie was the 4th. Which we... Ernie Madsen Jr. and Guy Hudson. And there was... That was Madsen. No, that's Morden. That's a completely different name. Gwen and the boys. She must have had 2 kids, right? They're also part of the Free Spirits. And actually, now we can put that there. She lived... Shoulder, okay. That's just Margot. That does not help. Margot, anything about their employment? Probably not. Architects, preachers, and lawyers. No one's got time for candy. You know what? I'm gonna take a stab at it and say that they were both housewives. Because there was a mention of, like, the first woman to not be a housewife. Will this lock in if we do it? Probably not. Unfortunately not. Anyways, I'm gonna put housewife because of the mention of that. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife. Which sounds like sour grapes, but I think can be taken literally. And why there's two clues to this. I'm gonna drink, be right back. Okay. And there also should be James Morton. Weirdly close to James Marsden. So we just need one more and we should get new evidence to kind of help us out here. I'm trying to think of, like, the one that is probably getting Clark's photo would probably help. This was taken in 1964 and he was 18. When was the photo taken here? This wasn't from the 70s, so he'd be... Let's see, that's Eli, that's one of the preachers. I don't know why I didn't take that poor guy's photo. Clark is there. I wish it was in order. Clark is on here. C and J plus J and D. C and J plus J and D. There we go. Release one single called These Times. Someone with the username XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX. Scan the cover. Noted it cost him over $200 in auction. Her song, or Jim's cousin. Can't find anything else about it. All it can do is scan it to your evidence. I literally cannot tell. Clark's probably younger, so I think that's probably him. Nope, I was wrong. But I was right on everything else, which is great. Alright, locked in the 5 pieces. A bunch of the other stuff. What do we got?
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it. But I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed. I'm a Roottrees. I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of. If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
15 more? Are you giving me anything here? Not a thing. Not a gosh darn thing. I was really looking forward to getting bailed the hell out there, and did not happen. I think it's gotta be you. No, God, that looks... God, then who are you, if not that? Are you here? No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Are you this? You don't have... I don't know. One of them's this. The other one could be this right there. You have hair there. Jane is that for sure. Okay. Locked in you. We've locked in you. Locked in some other photos. I know that's you. Okay. Well, darn. Well, that's not so helpful, is it? RR, nothing there. His wife Edith's sister in a disguise. Okay. Didn't actually help me anywhere, but it's fine. Clergy Watch feels... Cherry Tree, Sound of Laughter. Okay. It's fine. Cherry Tree. Alright, that's root. I can type in album. There you go. accept bootlegs. Okay, we got evidence, I guess. Sound of laughter. Doesn't seem to be very successful. Okay. Clergy watch. Oh. Well, that didn't help. Anything here help at all? No. Not quite. Okay. Don't know if we'll get anything going on Anderson Maple Farm. I think it might just redirect back. Yeah. We couldn't find anything there. One cover of what? Just root catalog. Alright, well, darn. One, okay, so like one is Edward, one is Eli. But we don't know which is which, other than I think Eli's probably the eldest. But one's C and one's M. I'm guessing it'd be here for C for like Clancy, and whereas this one would be M for Miracle. There's another one who's Edward, and based on the fact that this man is white, I think it's this one. Because... Did I not? Yeah. I think that's that. Sam must be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth. I don't know who Gwyneth is. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. She's talking Lauren. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. Could be either of these. Not helpful. Clancy. Clancy is probably the third. Because we have, I think, the names for, well, almost everybody. It would make sense that there's a Clancy Jr. here. We've got Edward Clancy, after all. How many more Roottrees are there? Ah, too many. Could also swap these two, but don't think it'll matter too much. Oh wait, is that Gwyneth? Yeah, interesting. That's Sam's somewhere here, I'm sure. I'm sure there's weird stuff there. I don't know what. Couldn't tell you who or why. But it's definitely there. Noble Roottrees. Mother's family is called the Cassells. There's stuff here for sure. CM. I think 5 pieces we're doing pretty good. Don't know why this specifically has the same thing unless someone had 5 kids. No one else had 5 kids, right? You had 4 kids. It's the only other maximum we had. Roottrees. Ruse. There is a Tessa Roottree, but that does not help us much. We already got that. Wolf Roottrie. that's gotta be Eli. Because I said he looks a lot like his dad. Which means that's probably Clancy Jr. and then the little... that's Edward. Now, I could still be swapping these up, though. This is another one that seems super important, but I don't have an idea of where we're going with it. Rookie did... wonder if we can look up Shiva Candle. No. Eli M. Which, yeah, makes sense. Ernie Jr. Ernie Jr. Where would Ernie Jr. be? No idea. We're kinda close on these three brothers, if only because Lauren always, talks about them. Did one of them in this picture have a ring on? Got a ring? It's probably too soon for either, but I'm just gonna guess there. That one looks like kinda Brad Pitty. Okay, I think Elias M is there. Although, in that case, because that's Junior, Miracle Junior, Free Spirits. Oh, why is Miracle Junior on there if it's the Free Spirits? Oh, it's not all Free Spirits, it's including Interesting. Well, in that case, I still think I'm right on that one. And that just seems like he's a mechanic. Just based on that. Which, you know, could be wrong or whatever, but... Edward was gonna take over for the dad, which makes him a lawyer. And the rest feels close. Clancy volunteered when it was time, right? Just an artist answers and nonsense. Carl went to the academy. My brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. What paths of knowledge do we... Elias kind of looks like a... Let's see, an artist, author. Comedian, construction, dancer, director, doctor... I don't know. Material design, lawyer, manufacturing, media mogul. Professor. Oh wait, Clancy, he said, had lectures on the middle here. I can't tell. Another issue is, like, I need to figure out which one of these. Clancy Jr. would kind of make sense to be the original one, right? So we'll make this one Clancy. We'll make this one Eli. Again, I don't know if he's a doctor or anything, but he's wearing the lab coat. I don't know. This one makes sense now. Professor. He just looks like a professor. I was right on all those pictures. Very nice. Booyah is right. And then this means that's Elias C. He's a doctor, probably. Kind of want to take another look at that photo. Maybe. I am convinced about that, though. I feel like he's going to become a director, but it doesn't really matter. 2 kids. There's interesting. We only have in this picture left now. Bonnie, guy. Oh, we have lots. Never mind. Lol. Jim Roottrees, which ends up being James. We know Clark. We know Carl. We know Eli. Gwendolyn, Gwyneth M. Which one of these little twerps looks like they're the next president? Kind of looks like him. Alright, Guy Hudson. Fancy Flavors was addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year. It was Guy Hudson's first and historically most cited move as president of Roottrees, an attempt to cater more towards what he thought was the average person, looked at his own wealth. Decided to tap into the idea that if they added fancy flavors, anyone could live like the wealthy. This philosophy led to a flavor that was meant to mimic caviar. Okay. That was Guy Hudson. Uri Madsen Jr. Tough stuff. If we could figure out anything with that, that's tough. The whole family tree's been filled in. It has 2 names that must be typed in manually. The cues are obscure. Keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Yeah, that's the worry. So yeah, there'd be Mordens here, but I don't know. I just don't know. Meanwhile, my man's had so many kids. Just keeps sliding on down. Shouldn't be any Roottrees there. Hi. What's up?
Oh, not much. Did you end up starting the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Did it do okay?
Even though you locked it, yes.
Oh, no. No, I don't think I did, actually.
Chelsea, it's not me.
No, I think it's been doing it, to be honest. You remember my Impala when it used to start to going crazy?
Okay.
Actually, you're going to have to move it into the garage tonight, just to keep it a little bit safer from the cold, because I had to use it tomorrow.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Stephanie Landon grew up in a home without a father. Distant cousin of the Roottrees, local artist Carolyn. There is a Carolyn, for sure. It feels like that's gotta be... This has gotta be Stephanie Jones. Grew up without a father, which means he died. Which has me thinking... They split up. It wouldn't be Rafferty. Wouldn't be here. I think it's gotta be here. Guardian, adoption, or otherwise. A mother and her partner essentially had entirely female influence. Okay, alright. Stephanie Landon, but now Jones. Brian Jones. It's him. Politician. It was the latest run for office. Politics. That's her. Her mother, Carolyn. There's gotta be this. Carolyn Morden. Hopefully. Okay, this is making sense. Carolyn Morden. And she was... What did your thing say? Local artist. Artist. We don't know which one Carolyn is in this photo. Which one of you looks like an artist? It's you with the beret, isn't it? It's her with the beret. Dang, that would have been really funny. It could also just mean that Elias is not a doctor. This makes sense. Landon. Is there another Landon? Is very 80s hair? Oh, very much so. Mark Landon. And then that's gonna be a wife. Carolyn Morden. Oh, appeared on the front page of... Okay, let's do that. Periodicals. Please. Oh, we already did. Carolyn Morden. Did I type that right? Can't tell. No! No, I did not. It was real bad. Alright. Cover story about local art installations. She gets top billing, accompanying story. Image of Carolyn standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. Caption: Carolyn standing next to her sculpture. Atlantis' burden. Symbolized society split by indecision over whether women should be equal or something to protect. Okay. Now we're talking. No, I was totally right. That's definitely her. It is definitely her. So that's right, which means Elias isn't a doctor, which makes sense. We just kind of grasped at anything. Said they all kind of studied something, but that could mean anything. Model, musician, news anchor, pilot, politics. Pro athlete, public speaker, screenwriter. It's unknown. Unknown. But that's it. These two are both correct. I'm pretty happy with that. Damn hippies. I mean, those glasses kind of slap, though. There's no Williams, though, which is crazy. There's no Bill, either. It just does not exist. What was that noise? We have her other picture as well, which is great. Elias Roottrees. Elias C. Roottrees? I don't know about that. Nope. Trying to see if we missed anything specifically about Elias. All seem to pursue paths of knowledge. And it was just like... Eli just looks a lot like the dad. I'm like, what other things could it be? It's not architect. It could be a CEO somewhere. It isn't doctor. Is that interior design? Is he also a lawyer? Is he in manufacturing? Is he a media mogul? Hairdresser because he has fabulous hair. Now we're cooking with gas. Professor, public speaker. I don't even know what you could be, boss. But I know these two are right. Carolyn Morton's an artist, and then Split adopted this. It's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, in politics, because it's, I mean, she literally was running for it the other time. I mean, I could just sanity check this, right? We could just be like, click, click, clickety-clack. Oh, he's in advertising. That doesn't require knowledge. Oh wow, you really didn't give me anything there. Oh, that's great. Alright, that's going there for sure. Krista Hudson, Guy Hudson. There's a lot of Kellogg's. David Kellogg the third, David Kellogg the fourth. There's a bunch of Madsons. Ernest Madsen and then Ernest Jr. Ernest was the fourth. But we're on Morden's right now. But we don't know who you married. It could have easily been a Madsen. There's a Carolyn, a Gwendolyn, and an Angelica. Oh, well, Angelica's there. Whereas I don't know about the rest at all. There's two Rafferty LaRues. Which sure seems like what, these two? Control. Why does this have 7 connections? Any inbreeding yet? Not yet. I wonder if Diamond's Dazzlers. Yeah. Forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail and a random forum about video games. Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year. It's no longer available to join, but they honor it themselves personally. Jim and Diamond's young son Wolf, as well as his daughter's band, the Floozies. Okay. Where are we at with this? Okay, so we know Wolf is the younger kid of James. He looks miserable. Wolf Roottrees. And then Floozies has got to be... There's no FL? The Floozies. All-female punk band operating out of New York City. I mentioned passing an online review from earlier this year. Opening act for the band reviewer actually came to see. Trio was extremely cagey about their identities. Reviewer asked Venue who they are. Told the rumor to be children of other famous musicians. Didn't want that to be why they became popular. For an underground, unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive. Beef Baby. And Conquistador? Alright. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. It's definitely her. Sounds like a band you would go see IRL. Oh yeah, 100%. She would be a Roottrees. Candy is right there. Unknown occupation. We're gonna put you as musician. Wolf. 1 second. Going back. 1996. Young Son Wolf. Okay, so he's like a student. K through 12, right? Yeah, he's not college age. Unless that man is the youngest baby face I've ever seen. That is 2 of them locked in. And pretty much their entire line, other than the spouse of Elias, which isn't necessary. Though I'm sure there's ways to find it. Can I type in Beef Baby? Hell yeah. Could it be a euphemism? Or a newborn cow? If only had the time and resources to look into it further. Yeah, I agree. Conquistador is also a great name. What were the other 2 names? Nikki and Nina? Do you think those are... Do you think they're part of it at all? Or... Nicole Madsen. And is there a Nina? No. I don't think so. I think it's just... Clark. And we've got 2 again locked in, I think. One would imagine, at least. Tessa. I mean, well, okay. I would imagine Wilkins is the family business. Just based on how it goes, I think it'd be Elias's... Is there a Wilkins? There is. Elias's thing, and I think this would be Tessa, and she'd be a mechanic. Let's go. We're smart. God, you're really not gonna call me at all? I'm starting to struggle. I'm having a tough time. All right. Wonder if any... Nah. Jane Del Vecchio is listed on a talent for hire site as a wedding singer. The Lucky LaRue's. 1 second. That does not help me somehow. What's the smallest one? Kim LaRue. Nothing. Alright, that's fine. Can't decide, do I make homemade quesadillas or have a poor new teenager walk my food out to me in sub-freezing temperatures at Chick-fil-A? I say quesadillas, but I had Mexican food last night and I'm still craving. It has nothing to do with the the poor teenager in this case. It just sounds good. Alright. LaRue. There's 2 Rafferty LaRues, which to me means that these 2 would make sense. And then there's Chris Rafferty, which would make sense for you. Oh wait, he had 1 second. There was a Tunes thing. It was like Rafferty Tunes or something. Something like that. 1 second. We'll find it. Maybe. Street Candy, Thomas Oro, Channels, Stephanie Jones. Here. No, wasn't that. Carlos, Roland, Raffertunes, which sounds fake. Raffertunes. There we go. Quesadillas will be healthy. That's fair. Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. On there's an about page. Find picture with inspiration for this famous Super Bowl ad campaign. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children when his wife was trying to get his youngest Katrina. You know the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. Youngest is Katrina. Which means this is the other one. Jessica Rafferty LaRue. Is this going to give me pictures? It totally is. Oh my lord. Alright. Happy, grumpy, occupation, small child. Kim is you, and Clark, you kind of a piece of shit. I feel like because there's only one more Rafferty, it has to be here. You miss when your occupation was small child? Me too, boss. Me too. 1, 2. Is there a third one that should be working right now and isn't? No, it's just these 2, which is fine. They wouldn't have grown up much, right? Yeah, that's Clark's looking old. Disrespectfully. To the man who I think cheated twice. Yeesh. Wonder would Root? Because they said Root has periodicals, right? If I remember correctly. Because it says... Reina. Carly Rootree. We'll try that. Nope. CM would be Caroline Madsen. Okay, we've kind of explored down Lauren's tree pretty well. Pretty much all the trees, except I don't know. What's going on there? Versus RR. We also need to know which root tree is the one that caused all the issues. RR would be some kind of root tree. Robert or Ronald? There's two, of course there is. So one of these, that's Angelica, which means this is... you can at least put a name to it, right? Where is it? Here. I don't know. One has a bunch of orange-haired kids and one does not. Gwen... What did Gwen say? I doubt they'd still be Williams. Well, they might, though. They had them in... No, they can't be Williams. Rootree, which his name also ended up being... name, da-da-da-da. And they're probably just root trees still, right? I would imagine. Just don't know what they are. Lived in Paris, so that... Do they have, hey, got any French? No? Okay. Fair enough. One of them's definitely a director, though. I think, let's see. Gwyn. Goes like this, goes down like this, show the time. Then at the periodical history, there was here. So we've child in the way, sticking with the root tree for the last name. It's not Williams, but it's alliteration. Yeah, so the first kid is alliterative, but that doesn't help us. There's like 3 alliterative root tree names. Oh, sorry, there's 2. There's Robert and Ronald. Now the question is, do they have both or what? Guys Like Us or Christmas Mission? I don't know if Leslie Florence is gonna give us anything, but it might. No. Okay. What was it? It was Christmas Mission. No additional relevant info. Movie is marketed as an incredible true story, but no record of the events happening has ever been found. Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France. Fortune favored. Married 4 times, liked blondes. Got any, like, super French sounding names? I don't know French. Didn't help me at all. I mean, Quattrich sounds cool, but I don't know about that. What time is it? Oh my god, I've gone way past time. Alright, well, I mean, we're making progress. This is scaring me, and this is... I feel like if we can unlock this, it's great. We've got 2 presidents somewhere hiding here. 1 died. Thought you wouldn't notice. That's only because I'm having a good time. This part is frightening me a lot. Why would Gwyneth push for that, you know? And I don't have a clue. To include that rando. Yeah. We'll do more searches tomorrow. We'll find something out. We just need to get a 3rd person because these 2, I think, are locked in. More or less. We can and go from there. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Every time you say Gwyneth, I think of Goop. I also think of Gwyneth Paltrow. Or Dark Souls, as we discussed. Somehow his eye healing got better, if you say so. The fact that he's got glasses on tells me maybe not. I mean, we locked that branch. That branch is done. And we're pretty close on this one as well. That's the biggest one there is. Anyways. And if we get 6 more, we might actually get more information that'll help us. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Either way, we'll be back tomorrow. As always, appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon enough. Toodaloo.